anime tourism ruining Japan? Every year, millions of anime fans travel to Japan to see the places they've seen in anime. And for them, it's a dream come true. But for the people that actually live there, sometimes that dream can become a nightmare. So how did something that started as a celebration of anime become one of Japan's most controversial tourism issues? Well, before we get into that, I'd like to just make one thing clear. This video isn't about saying that anime tourism is bad or people shouldn't visit Japan because of anime. In fact, anime tourism has actually done a lot of good. It's helped local businesses, introduced people to different parts of Japan, and also inspired loads of people to learn more about Japanese culture. And as you all know, I'm a huge anime fan myself, and some of my most popular content on social media is visiting anime locations in Japan. So I completely understand why people want to visit those places. At the same time, I also recognize that creators like me play a role in bringing attention to these locations and kind of encouraging people to visit them. And just like any form of tourism, when something becomes extremely popular, it also creates problems. And that's exactly what we're looking at today. To understand how anime tourism has become controversial, we first need to look at how much it's grown over the last few years. Anime tourism isn't a new phenomenon. For years, Japanese fans have been visiting locations from anime and calling it Seichi Junrei, which roughly translates to like anime pilgrimage or holy pilgrimage. And this used to be a very niche hobby. The people visiting these locations were usually really dedicated fans who would spend hours finding the location and then going to visit it. But today, things are very different, and I can't help but feel partly to blame for that. Anime is more popular globally than ever before, and social media has made it incredibly easy for locations to go viral overnight. A single video can introduce millions of people to a place they'd never even heard of before. And while that's great for tourism, it also means that locations that were never designed to be tourist attractions can suddenly find themselves dealing with huge numbers of visitors literally overnight. What was once a quiet local area can suddenly become a must-visit destination for anime fans all over the world. One of the most well-known examples of this are the famous Your Name stairs. These stairs are located at the entrance of a small shrine in Tokyo called Suga Shrine and are featured in the iconic ending of the hit anime movie Your Name. And although the stairs aren't too far from the Shinjuku shopping district, they're actually located in the middle of a fairly quiet residential area of Tokyo. There's houses all around the stairs, and even some that are almost literally connected to them. Real people live there and walk through the area every day. And when thousands of visitors all want the same photo, it can create congestion, noise, and frustration for the local residents. Every time I've been recently, there's been crowds at the bottom and top of the stairs, and it can be quite hard to get through with everyone taking pictures. And actually, the most recent time I went, two of the residents who lived like right at the bottom of the stairs happened to come home while like loads of people were taking pictures. And I'm not gonna lie, they didn't look particularly happy about it. One thing I will say though is that every time I've been, everyone's been really respectful and quiet, and there's still a sense of peace in the area even though there's loads of crowds. But when enough people visit the exact same place, even respectful tourism can have an impact. And that's one of the biggest issues with anime tourism. It's usually not one person behaving badly. It's the sheer number of people visiting these locations that were never designed to handle this amount of attention. And sadly, even with everyone being respectful, it can still impact the local residents' lives. Having said that, sometimes it is about certain people behaving badly. And a great example of this is the crossing near Kamakura Kokomai Station, which appeared in the anime Slam Dunk. Tourists regularly gather around the crossing waiting for trains to pass so they can get the perfect photo. And again, most people visiting are very respectful. However, this location gained a lot of media attention in Japan recently, with local residents and news outlets saying that tourists were blocking roads, ignoring traffic rules, stepping into dangerous areas, and even going into private property to get the perfect photo. In response, local authorities have had to increase security measures and install barriers to try to manage the crowds. Which isn't just an anime tourism problem, by the way. We all know what happened to the famous Mount Fuji Konbini. But it's such a shame because first of all, it gives tourists, and I guess foreigners in general, a bad reputation. And it's also used by certain people and groups in Japan to push the narrative that like tourism is bad and foreigners are like disrespectful, which I hate, by the way. But not every issue surrounding anime tourism comes from overcrowding or people behaving badly. Sometimes the problem comes from cultural differences and like the blurred line between fiction and reality. One of the biggest examples of this is the act of leaving things behind at anime pilgrimage sites. And I'm not talking about leaving behind like rubbish or unwanted items, although that does happen as well. I'm talking about people intentionally leaving things behind that appeared in the anime or symbolized the story in some way. Now, this is a bit of a difficult difficult one for me because I actually think it's really cute, and I'm sure a lot of you guys do as well. But a lot of Japanese locals definitely don't see it the same way. I actually first heard about this when I visited the Chainsaw Man Leze locations in Jinbocho. Inside the telephone box, people had left behind daisies and even empty cans of the coffee that Denji was drinking in the anime. And at the stairs that appeared in the anime, people had also left behind more daisies too. And my first reaction was, oh my god, that's so cute, and I almost felt connected to those people that had left things behind. But then my Japanese sister-in-law told me that loads of videos of it were actually going viral on Japanese social media, with loads of people saying that it's actually really disrespectful. The reason's pretty simple. Someone from the local area eventually has to come and clean it all up. So even though the intentions might be good, it ends up creating a lot of extra work for the local residents. And to be completely honest with you, before she pointed that out, I didn't even think about that. I genuinely don't think that people leaving those items behind mean any harm. I just think that they're so excited to see the location from their favorite anime and almost kind of forget that it's a real place. And that's one of the unique challenges of anime pilgrimage. Visiting these locations can almost feel like you're stepping onto a movie set. The connection to the fictional world becomes so strong that the real life setting almost fades into the background. I also think cultural differences play a part here too. Like, I'm pretty sure if people started leaving flowers in telephone boxes in the UK, most local residents wouldn't care. But in Japan, there tends to be a much stronger expectation to leave public spaces the way you found them. So if you want to recreate a scene or take photos at a location using items from the anime, that's completely fine. Just make sure you take everything home with you and leave the location exactly how you found it. So after everything we've talked about, is anime tourism actually a bad thing? Personally, I don't think so. For a lot of the smaller towns, anime has actually introduced people to places they never would have visited otherwise. And when fans travel to those locations, they often end up supporting the local businesses there too, like shops, restaurants, cafes, hotels, and that can have a really positive impact on the local economy. And beyond the economic benefits, I actually think there's something really special about someone connecting with a real place through a fictional story that they love. For many fans, visiting these locations isn't just about taking photos. It's about visiting a place that actually meant something to them emotionally. But I do think it's important to think about how we as fans can enjoy these anime pilgrimage sites while still being respectful to the people that live there. So let's talk about how we can experience these places responsibly. First, remember that real people live there. For you, it might be an exciting anime location, but for someone else, it's just their neighborhood. Always be respectful and keep the noise down, and treat the area the same way you'd want visitors to treat your neighborhood. Secondly, always leave the locations exactly how you found them. Take anything you used in your pictures home with you, and obviously don't leave any rubbish. Thirdly, don't chase the perfect photo. Trust me, I know better than anyone that it's really tempting to try to recreate your favorite anime scenes exactly, but try not to let getting the perfect photo ruin the experience for everyone else. And always be mindful of the people around you when taking photos. And finally, support the local area. Maybe eat at a local restaurant or cafe, visit the local shops, and even stay at a hotel for the night if you're traveling from far away. It's a nice way to give back to the community while you're there. At the end of the day, anime pilgrimage is about celebrating something you love. And the best way to do that is to make sure your visit leaves a positive impression, not just on you, but also on the people that live there as well. So that's all I have to say in this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed that and kind of learned something new as well. I know there wasn't really like a specific point to this video, but I just thought it was a topic that I should probably talk about, especially because it's been getting a lot of attention in Japanese media recently. And yeah, I kind of feel like partly to blame for that because I know a lot of my content is about visiting these anime locations, but I just love it and I really want you guys to visit too. So yeah, let's all make sure we're visiting in a really respectful manner. And I'd love to hear what you guys think about this topic in the comments, or if you have any advice for people visiting anime locations, please write that in the comments as well. Yeah, just let me know your thoughts. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please leave me a like and subscribe to my channel because both of those things really help my channel out. And yeah, as always, thank you so much for watching, guys, and thank you so much for all the support recently. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!